Peace, brothers and sisters. I tell you what, I told you I have a bit of time now. Alright, so I might as well just publish as much videos as I can before I get busy. Anyway, I'll come back to see. Today is Adnan Rachid. Yeah, he's everywhere. The guy is everywhere. Alright, he's everywhere doing his thing. Alright, and alright, let's listen to him. He's talking about Hadith rejection. Yeah, let's just see. Let's analyze his words, right, and the way he tells his story. Right, he tells it from one side. Right, they all tell their story from one side.
So the topic is very important one because this phenomenon called inkar hadith or inkarul hadith in the Arabic language, or hadith rejection or rejecting hadith, has emerged in the Muslim world generally, and specifically in Pakistan more so than...
Pakistan, whatever, yes, blah, 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 blah. What do we think about this, right? He's not an Arab, right? Why is he speaking in Arabic? Right, that's the first question. Why is he trying to speak in Arabic to them, to these people? Why? What specifically now? It doesn't have to speak Arabic at all, like me, right? I'm not speaking Arabic, right? Only when it comes to the Quran or to Arabic language, yeah? But why do you think he uses Arabic? He uses Arabic to seem smart, to seem he knows better than them, to seem that he's more of a Muslim than them, to seem like he can understand Islam better because he knows Arabic. This is all to pump up his image, you see. That's all, right? That's all. That's why they do this, because it makes no sense, right? Even me, right? I speak Arabic and I studied Arabic and since birth. But if I'm talking about Islam, but if I'm talking like this with no Quran and that, I don't have to speak Arabic. I really don't have to. There's no reason for me to speak Arabic. Because if you say like Islam is Arabic, you know what I'm saying? That's what they think. Islam is Arabic and God is an Arab who sits on a chair and we go to him, we fly to see him. It's just a mentality. You see the way they think, the way they see things. You've got to analyze every word they say.
Because this is where it was born in the recent times. Inkarul hadith or rejecting hadith, whatever form it may come in, was started by primarily the first sectarian group in Islam. Who knows what the first sectarian group in Islam is?
So he's saying, right? It's not my words, yeah. It's his words, right? He's saying the first ones ever, right, started one after the Prophet Muhammad died, right? They rejected the Hadith, right? So after the Prophet Muhammad died, this group he's talking about rejected the Hadith. They call them the Khawarij, yeah. He's saying that. I'm not saying anything, am I?
In Islam, the first sectarian digression, or a group that separated itself from the Muslim main body. You said Shia. Okay, Kharijites or the Khawarij. Anyone else? Okay, anyone else? Okay, yes.
See why they ask questions as well? Why they ask questions? Not because they're trying to make their followers that they're stupid, they're idiots, right?
Those are correct. The Khawarij were the first sectarian group in the history of Islam.
Or to see how brainwashed they are.
And this is what the ulama have stated. People like Imam Shahrastani in his book Al-Milal wal-Nihr, he has...
That book, Al-Milal wal-Nihr, yeah, it is really funny.
In the history of the Khawarij and how they came about. And the topic today is not to discuss the Khawarij, but to highlight this point that they were the first ones to break away from the main body of Muslims. So first there was Islam, what we call the normative Islam, or Islam as it was delivered by the Prophet ﷺ to his companions.
to his companions, no one else.
Came digression, going away from that path. People who broke away from the main body of Muslims. Who were the main body of Muslims at the time of the Prophet ﷺ? The Prophet and his companions. They were the people who took knowledge directly from the Prophet ﷺ. And this is the core of Islam. This is where you need to understand how to follow pure Islam. If you want to follow pure Islam, the core of pure Islam is the Prophet and the people who learned directly from him.
Bang, bingo! There's no God here. Allah doesn't exist. Right? This is what human worship started. All these hadiths and all that. Human worship. Right? So, let him carry on.
Go to anyone else for Islam or to learn your Islam, to understand your Islam, you will go astray. You will fall in error, guaranteed. And anyone who studies the history of Islam, which I have...
Basically, if you don't follow human beings, all right, and other people's brains and opinions, all right, you're not a Muslim. You are not, all right. So you have to listen to an imam and the shuyukh and the ulama and until, I don't know, you keep listening to them. They'll tell you how to worship God, all right? All that. And ignore the Quran completely. That's what he's trying to say. Ignore the Quran and just listen to these people, yeah? Because that's what they do.
To the best of my ability, I'm a student of history. I've come to realize that anyone who breaks away from the way of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ ended up in dalal, in misguidance.
All right. See, flaws after flaw after flaws, a lot of flaws here, right, in what he's saying, right? So, basically, at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, when Prophet Muhammad died, right, this group who are living with the Prophet Muhammad left, right? But we have to follow the one that stayed, because they are Sahaba, they are companions. But the group that left, they are the Sahaba as well. You see what the part he leaves, all right? The part he leaves is the most important. He leaves parts because he tells it from his beliefs, his ideology, all right? So this group were the Sahaba as well. So the one stayed, the Sahaba. The one that left, the Sahaba. So which one of them is wrong? Which one of them I should listen to? Because you just said listen to the Sahaba. So are you going to tell me who are the Sahaba who I can follow? Or which one of them are correct? Which one of them are honest? Which one of them... Who's going to tell me that now? Right, who's going to tell me that now? See, that's the first flaw, yeah? In his debate. Let's carry on.
Because that was the main body of the Muslims in the early days of Islam. They are the ones who received the Quran, understood it directly from the Prophet ﷺ, and delivered it in a perfectly pure form to their followers. Anyone who breaks away from them or finds a fault in them or tries to make excuses to...
See, they don't make a mistake, the Sahaba. To them, human worship, they are not human, right? Because what we know, all human are fallible, yeah? This is our nature. We make mistakes, we lie, we do this, that's what we do. That's what human beings do, right? This lot, right? They're not human. They don't make mistakes. They're all just. But the biggest flaw, right, in this story as well, right? Okay, after the Prophet Muhammad died, right? Just after him, right? Just after he died, right? They started spreading Islam by sword, right? If I'm lying, read the history, their own history, right? They used to go places. You have to pay al-jizya, right? Or you take Islam, accept Islam. Do you know what I mean? If you don't do that, they banish you. You either believe in Islam or pay him money to stay. Always money, remember, money. And the third one, you get evicted. And they can take your wife, they can take your money, they can do whatever they want with you, basically. So this is the companions he's talking about, they're just. All right, in your history, you're telling us that you spread Islam with a sword, right? And the first ones that started doing that, because the Prophet didn't do that. He did not do that. Because if he would have done that, that means he's gone completely against the Quran. Completely against it. So he won't be a messenger anymore. He'd be an Arab hypocrite. Do you know what I mean? So he wouldn't go against the Quran. God said, do not transgress. He will not transgress. You actually were transgressors. This Sahaba, you picture them like they're gods, right? Go and read. Go and read the history, where the lands that they've been through. Look at the history of North Africa, history of Egypt, history of Syria, all the wars that happened with what do you call it, like Iran now. Just read when they started to take over lands, right? And then the Sahaba killed the other Sahaba. They had wars amongst them, right? They killed each other. They're both Muslims, but they killed each other. It's your history, not mine. That's what you tell people. So Sahaba killing Sahaba, and you're asking me to follow the Sahaba. Which one? How do I know which one of them was right? So which Sahaba? These people that they are not human, right? They don't make mistakes. They don't make mistakes, but they kill each other, right? Which one do I follow? You see, which one? Which one of all of these I have to follow? Which one of all the hadiths I have to follow? Which ones? Because every sect has its own hadiths.
Bad light has simply gone astray. And it is a challenge. You may find individuals here and there going astray, even among the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. But the main body of the companions, who numbered over 100,000 people, men and women, they stuck together to preserve the Quran and the prophetic tradition, the Sunnah of the Prophet.
So he's saying 100,000 people at the time knew Sunnah. Is that what he's saying? Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying, I'm not saying it, right? He's trying to say that the Quran is the same as the Sunnah. So it was preserved by 100,000 people there, 100,000 Muslims, right? They actually preserved the Quran. They preserved the Quran, not God. It has nothing to do with God, right? And they preserved the Sunnah, right? But the biggest lie is here. His biggest problem is here, right? The Sunnah was not written, right? Written, right? They're going to say, no, it existed and it was written. If it was written, right? And Abu Huraira wrote Sunnah or the Hadith, yeah? Or Umar ibn Khattab did write the Hadith, right? Then it should be Hadiths, right? Saying from Umar ibn Khattab that the Prophet said that. And that's it. It should stop there. There's no one up before him. Why would it someone before him if it was already written, right? It wouldn't be, would it? Right? But every Hadith has about 20 people. That chain is about 10, 8, 12. You see what I'm saying? It would say, but Abu Hurairah said, he heard it is that Abu Bakr said, the Prophet said. It stops there, right? There's no other chains. There should be two, maximum 3 people. Two people. What should be 3? Should be 2 people. So that way, right, we know the Sunnah, the Hadith you're talking about was written at that time, right? But we don't have that. It's the opposite. It's always, most of it is Abu Hurairah by himself with the Prophet, right? Not 100,000 Sahabi, right? You don't have a Hadith 100,000 Sahabi knows, right? You don't even have a Hadith that three people said it the same way. If you have 3 people heard it from the Prophet, those 3 hadiths will be different. So like they heard the wrong thing. I don't know. They were there with him, but each one of them heard it differently. So he's lying, isn't he? He's lying. He is lying. Sunnah, the hadiths, their hadiths, right, has nothing to do with the Quran. Absolutely nothing how it was spread. They lie. They lie. Right? They lie. They always lie. They always lying to their people.
And in history, anyone who sticks to the followers of prophets prospered. They never went astray. And anyone who broke away from them.
You think that are we living? Right? Are we living in a different planet? Because honestly, look what he's saying, and look at the status quo. So every person who didn't go against the hadith, right, they're prosperous. Should I start giving you names about the Muslim countries now that are all messed up? And they've been messed up for a long time. Right? Are we living, is he telling me that are we living in 200 or whatever, like 1200 years ago or something? Are we living then or are we living now? Because now, there's about 2 or 3 countries, that Muslim countries, that are actually doing okay. Okay, just okay, yeah? The rest of them are a mess. Killing, civil wars, a mess, terrorism, just name it. So you must be wrong. So who the hell are you following then? Because if you're following a prophet, and your prophet promised you you're going to be so peaceful, right? You don't go astray ever, right? So why are you living like enemies? Like you're always killing each other. You don't even agree with each other about nothing. Why? Why are you, every Muslim country is poor now? Are you going to come up with another excuse? But that was a promise from a prophet. That was a promise from God, isn't it? So God keeps his promises. How come, what's happening to you now? If you are following the Quran and what God is teaching, right? God promised. If you follow what I'm telling you, you're gonna prosper. But why are we not? Why are we living like this? All the Muslim countries are living like there's no justice, there's nothing. You can't really say anything. You can't choose your own religion. You can't have your own ideology. Otherwise, they take you to prison. Or why? Why are you living like this? You obviously because you're following. You sent people astray. You're following human beings. That's why. That's why you're living like that. And that was my first question when I started questioning this crap. When I read the Quran, it said, if you follow my way, right, we're going to take over the world, basically. You're going to be up there, higher, right? But my reality, right, always has been, right, civil war, fighting, poor, being invaded by other people, no justice, nothing, right? So, is God lying, making empty promises, or we were following human beings, and that's why we ended up like that? Stop lying, man. Just be honest. Be honest to your own reality, man. To your own country. Like Pakistan and India, and just go there, man. What's that? Is that reality? Or is that what?
Simply, found themselves in error. Very quick example. I had a recent debate in the US nearly 10 days ago, or almost 2 weeks ago. I was in America, in the USA, Atlanta. I had a debate with a Christian scholar there on the issue of salvation by the cross. Do we need the cross for salvation, as the Christians claim? The Christian belief is that Jesus Christ, Isa alayhi salam, was crucified. He died on the cross to liberate humanity. He died for our sins. And he lifted the curse of the law. Now, was this idea this doctrine or this aqidah, was it preached by Isa alayhi salam? Did Isa preach this? No. When you open the Bible, even in its current form, which is altered, it is in even the New Testament.
See what they do as well, yeah? When you use a hadith against them, they don't like it. They really don't like it. They really don't like it. But they actually have the audacity to do it to other people. Do you know what I mean? When someone like me uses their hadith against them, they go, you're a hypocrite. Yeah, they tell me, why are you using hadith? Why are you using hadith? I thought you only believe in the Quran, so why are you using hadith? So you're a hypocrite. So I'm a hypocrite for using hadith. But they're not hypocrites for using the Bible. You know what I mean? They're not. Or Talmud or anything else. They're not hypocrites, no. They're not.
What about the Old Testament?
Let's just move on a little bit. We're not talking about Christians.
Be a redemption for you.
Oh, come on. Talk about the Quran as well.
Call him Saint Paul.
Wait. We're talking about the Quran as well, now you're going to the Christians.
This religion is not based upon the teachings of...
Oh, shit, you muddle about, man. Come on, stay in one place.
And he said, that's very difficult for me to do, and he turned...
Oh, come on, man. I thought you were talking about us. What are you talking about the Christians for?
Lectured Paul, and they went against Paul.
Oh, it's still about Paul.
They camp, and
Let's start it
when
from
you
here.
go close to a beach,
Let's just start it from here.
what do you hear? Buzzing. You know the buzzing sound?
Okay.
That buzzing sound.
Now he starts killing them with, giving them, what do? They give them too much information quickly. Terrorism. That's called terrorism. That's how you brainwash them. Give them too many information, right? To these people sitting there, simple. They never read a book. They never really tried to understand the Quran, and just bombard them with information to sound smart and clever, and you know what you're talking about. And the fact is, he's contradicting himself in everything he's saying. If you really just listen here, I don't know where he started here, but let's finish. Let's
your mobile
just
phone
follow up.
vibrates. Huh? That sound. When you go close to the beehive, Abdullah bin Abbas, he said, when I went to the camp of the Khawarij, I heard this buzzing sound. And what was that sound? Them reading the Quran. Them reading the Quran, but their understanding the Quran was so accurate in their eyes that they started to tell Ali bin Abi Talib, the man who was promised Jannah by the Messenger of Allah, that your understanding of the Quran.
So I've got to stop him because he's committing crimes every couple of words. So he said the Prophet Muhammad promised him Jannah. Is that him saying it, or am I imagining shit? Honestly, he just said the Prophet Muhammad, right, promised Ben Abi Talib heaven. So now the Prophet promises heaven. See, that's what they say, radiallahu anhu. This is all the Prophet promised him heaven. Because the Prophet in the Quran says, I don't know what's going to happen to me or to you. So he doesn't know. I don't know the unseen. I'm only human like you. That's the Prophet Muhammad in the Quran, right? That's the messenger in the Quran. But now he said he promises people heaven. He's got the keys. He's got, I don't know. See, it's different. Muhammad, the messenger in the Quran, the messenger in their hadith, right? It's not the same. We're not talking about the same person at all.
Ali would deliver khutbahs on the minbar in Kufa, and the Khawarij would stand up and they would say, your understanding is wrong. You have misunderstood the Quran. Allahu Akbar. And these people never met the Prophet. Most of them were not Sahab. Not one Sahabi was found among them.
You see what they've done? You see where the hadith come from now? Do you get it a little bit, where the hadith come from? So this lot, right, these hypocrites who took over, right, took over Islam and created parallel religion with it, yeah? They're the one who created all these hadiths to scrutinize the believers, the true believers. Do you understand? And the other one's done the same. Do you know what I mean? And the Shia done the same. You see, that's why they came up with all this. That's why I tell you it's a prophecy. And a prophecy, they were doing it. They were doing it because that's how it works. Good and evil, innit? That's how it works. Good and evil. Evil will never go over good, isn't it? And good will always come. But so they prepare themselves. They prepare themselves. We have hadith. The Prophet said and the Prophet said and the Prophet said. Right? First of all, we follow the messenger. We don't follow the Prophet. Right? We don't follow the Prophet, we follow the Messenger. But they always said the Prophet said, Prophet said, Prophet said. Yeah, Prophet is Muhammad. He goes to the market, he talks to his wife, to his friends, to is that all what he says is hadith. Always I have to follow everything Muhammad says. As a human being. Is it possible to follow someone's life? So I copy his life. I look like him, I talk like him, my name has to be like him. Is it possible to do that? It's not. You've been a hypocrite here. And that's what all you are, hypocrites. And then let him talk for a little bit. Let me talk, because every time he says two words, it's just
So we have youngsters like that today, mashallah. They come to Islam 2-3 months, read 1 or 2 pamphlets or books here, and they start to implement Sharia on every single person who comes along. Yeah, they start to look down upon their family, their aunties, their uncles. Oh, tum sab log to kufar ke raste mein chal rahe ho.
It's like this just happened just like that. These people are it's their fault, right? No one is teaching them that. Right? No one is teaching them that. These people he's talking about, no one taught them that. These people just picked up a book and left. Hey, reality says opposite. The people that hang out in mosques, right, all the time, they're the ones that commit commit terrorism. The people that hang out all day in the mosques now, everywhere and before, they're the ones they always end up as terrorists or killing something. Not the ones that are sitting at home reading a book. Right? That's reality. That's a fact. From a mosque to Iraq, from a mosque to madrasa to Afghanistan, from a madrasa to Syria, from a madrasa it's always from a madrasa. It's always from a madrasa, man. Those are the ones that you brainwashing them. You feeding them with this crap and aggression and killing Islam and jihad and 73 virgins and all this crap you come up with. Do you know what I mean? And you don't kill yourself. You don't commit suicide, shit like this. You don't. You take the money and you send people to kill themselves.
तुम सब लोग तो फारे हो, हमें मिल गया Islam. This attitude was there. So Khawarij came up with these theories and they started to come up with new theology, new ways of interpreting the Sunnah of the Prophet. So they were the first ones to reject the Hadith of the Prophet, the Sunnah of the Prophet, or to cast doubt on, because they came up with these ideas. Like there is a Hadith in Bukhari that a woman came with to Aisha radiallahu.
He didn't give a source of nothing. There's a Hadith. You can do that. You can just say Bukhari come up with something. If he didn't say who from who, if it's authentic, if it's not, is a mutawatir, no, just give it to you. Just listening. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to him because he's not really trying to do anything. They're brainwashed anyway. Might as well top him up a little bit. That's why every Friday people go to the mosque to get top up of the brainwashing.
He came up with this idea of about fasting and kafara of fasting. And she came up with this erroneous idea that do we not have to make up for our, for example, during menstrual cycles, making up for fasts. And Aisha radiallahu anha, she asked her, Aharuriya anti. Aharuriya anti. Are you one of the Khawarij? They were known as Haruriya. Harura was a place in Iraq where the Khawarij...
Once someone... look, there's a funny bit about these people, right? Go and talk to about any of them about his wife. Or bring out his wife's name. Or ask him about his wife's name. No, you don't see that. They'll tell you respect and all that. But they know everything about the Prophet Muhammad's wives. What they done. When they had sex. When it's... They're hypocrites. Absolutely hypocrites. That's all they are.
So they had already emerged with the new theology and they broke away from the way of the Sahaba. They thought they know better, right? Then came the Mu'tazila. This is the early history of the rejection of Hadith, where this idea came from. Mu'tazila. Hassan Basri, the term Mu'tazila comes from a statement Hassan Basri, who was one of the greatest tabi'een.
Right. Another human being by himself, right? He got that from him. Like that's proof, right? That's history, right? So he gets his history from one part, from one side, from one human being, right? There's no other histories apart from this. So this guy said that, so we're gonna believe him. That's it. That's what he's gonna say, and that's what happened, and that's history, right? That's what they teach him. That's what they teach him. And this guy is being obviously been taught. He went to a madrasa and a jama, and he's brainwashed to death. He just doesn't know it because he thinks he's smart. He thinks he's special. You know what I mean? That's why he thinks and he's got status now. People go to him. People give him money. He gets money. He gets paid. Do you know what I mean? People pay his plane ticket to go and do this shit. Otherwise, he will never see America, would he? Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. It's business to them. To these people, they're making money. It's money. It's all about money. It's all about charity. It's all about. You think it's to do with Islam? No. It's money for them. For them. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's been brainwashed and he's making money. He's got status. He's someone. It's important, isn't it? If he's not doing that, no one will look at him. No one will talk to him. You see, they give themselves a status. They put themselves there, right? And then when they taste a bit of how good it is, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to do anything. You just have to talk. Just talk. Talk rubbish. Go and memorize a book and just start talking, and you make money out of it. Come on, man. That's the easiest job in the world. What do you help them humanity with here? What's this guy helping humanity? How is he helping anything? How is he giving anything? What is he doing?
Made in this regard are, now a mu'min hai, now a kafir hai. They are hanging in the middle. They stand somewhere in the middle. Their status is undecisive. Hassan Basri,
So this Hassan Basri said, yeah, there's the people that didn't believe and people that believed. But people that, this Khawarij, they're in the middle. So they're not Muslims, but they're not kuffar. What are they then? What the hell, what are they then? What are they? What do you mean? What are you doing with your hands like that? Well, is there something, another group we don't know about? In the Quran, you're either a believer or not a believer. You never mention anything in the middle, but because this guy said it, it's religion now. You know what I mean? Because his preacher said it, this Hassan al-Basri said it, it's a religion. That's it. It's in his memory. He's going to feed it to people, and those people are going to pick it up, and they're going to believe it, and so on.
he said, "Taziru." They have gone away. They have left the main body. Because this belief cannot be substantiated in the light of the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. There are people hanging in the middle as well, right? This is a Catholic concept, the concept of limbo, right? So we don't believe in that.
Catholic concept.
People who commit major sins are believers, but they are sinners. And if they repent, Allah will accept the repentance. And if they don't repent, they will pay for it in Jahannam, and then they will be eventually taken out. They will not remain in hellfire.
Pay for it in Jahannam. You know what I'm saying? So people that committed sin, they're definitely going to hell. In Jahannam. So God ain't going to forgive them. So God doesn't forgive. Yeah? So people who committed sin, they go in. That's what he said. They pay for it in the fire. So everyone that committed big sin, let's say big sin, I don't know what a big sin is, right? There's few of them. So he goes straight to hell. Yeah?
How do we know this? From the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, from the Sunnah.
Bingo! That's how they know this. From a Hadith. He calls Hadith Sunnah, Sunnah Hadiths. I don't know. This guy studied Arab or I don't know what he studied, but a Sunnah is Hadith, Hadith is the Sunnah, a Sunnah is the revelations. It's this Arabic, the Quran is so confusing. It's so gibberish, right? It makes no sense. So one word means other. That's what all they do. That's what they do. And it's all the same. Notice, they're all different people. They're saying the same thing.
Mu'tazila were people who used their rationality over the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Where did this movement come from? When Greek...
Do not use your brain, by the way. Do not use your head. Do not use your heart. Just listen. Listen to them. Just take whatever they're telling you, right, as a complete truth. That's what they want you to do. Come on, zombie, fall asleep. Sheep, follow.
Were translated into the Arabic language in the 9th century CE or the 2nd century Hijri. Some of the Greek works written by Greek philosophers such as
Terrorism, information terrorism. This is it. Bombard them with information, useless information, right? They have absolutely nothing to do with what he's talking about, because to debate someone who believes in the Quran, you just talk about the Quran, but you're not debating them. You're not telling them verses. You're not telling your followers verses from the Quran proving what you're saying. You're telling them hadiths, right? So you're brainwashing them. You know what I'm saying? You want to tell them what's wrong with them. You tell them from the Quran. Bring us verses from the Quran that what we're doing is wrong. No, he's talking hadith. He's talking Christians, bombardment, like terrorize them with information. Just leave them like. That's why most people fall asleep. They can't do it because they've been listening to this shit for 300 years. Right? I've been listening to this shit, right, since I was about 4, 5. This shit. Since I was 4. They're not going to say anything I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? They can't, especially these people like convert and all this crap. You can't. I was born with it, mate. I was born with it. You know? What are you going to tell me that I don't know? What?
Plato and
let's move that, or just talk about the main thing.
The Quran and the Sunnah, right? Aql is under the knuckle because knuckle is the revelation of Allah.
But that's not what you do. Let's go back.
That rationality is limited.
Please, listen, yeah? Listen exactly what he's talking about, yeah? Exactly what he's talking about, yeah? Let's analyze just this bit here, just this bit, right?
It is very limited. Your aql, what we call aql, is not over knuckle. Knuckle is the text of the Quran and the Sunnah, right? Aql is under the knuckle because knuckle is the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah revealed the Quran, right? So Allah knows best. He is the creator of the heavens and the universe. He tells us in the Quran that He is the one who created Badi'u samawati wal ard wa idha qada amran fa innama yaqulu lahu kun fayakun. Okay, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who created the universe, the heavens and the earth. So He is supremely wise. Supremely wise. He is ultimately wise. Right? We, all of us put together, all the humans on the planet and other species beyond, if they do exist, cannot possibly outdo Allah's wisdom. Can we?
Wow, what a bright question. What the most important he said here, so the mind comes before the writing, right? Which is al-aql qabla al-naql. That means you use your brain before you copy someone else. That's what it means, right? That's what it means. Right? I don't think he knows what it means, right? So you have to choose your brain, right? You don't just copy people, follow people, right? That's what it means. Al-naql, al-aql, qabla al-naql. But they do the opposite. He's talking about shit he does not understand himself. You understand that? They do the opposite because when they give you a hadith, right, that makes no sense to you. It doesn't go into your head, right? For example, right, a prophet, right, marries a child, a 9-year-old. This is not logic to me, to my head, to my brain, right? To my brain, this is not logic, right? If you tell me a prophet, every night he goes and have sex with 10 of his wives, 9 of his wives, but he doesn't wash. He doesn't wash, yeah? If you tell me a prophet said, I came with a sword, right, to make people say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, that thing does not go into my brain. But what do you guys do? What do you guys do? You say, Oh, this hadith, you have to follow the Sahaba, didn't you? You just said that. You just said it. You have to follow the Sahaba. You have to follow the companions, right? So you're not choosing your brain before you're choosing naql. You're copying other people. You're taking other people's opinion. So now proves that you don't know what those words mean. Let's see, carry on, because he goes ayah and then God and then information bombardment. That's what it is, man. He bombard this lot, keep brushing, but you all do the same, all do the same. Just listen.
If you can, then produce your evidence. Allah has created the heavens and the earth. What have you done? Allah tells you in the Quran, O mankind and jinn, you get together, you cannot produce a fly. Yes? आप लोग एक मक्खी भी नहीं बना सकते, जहाज बना सकते हैं आप. You can create flying jets, right? But self-sustaining मक्खी जो फ्यूल के बगैर चलती है, हाँ? मक्खी जो है, a fly, right? It has its own system. You cannot create.
He's talking about the Quranis, yeah. But before you forget, because you get you lost somewhere. I mean. See that he was talking about naql wal aql, yeah? Right, you copy someone's work, you copy someone's way, you copy someone's brain, you copy anything like that, or you use your own mind, right? That's the naql. Al-aql qabla al-naql, qabla al-naql. That they use al-naql qabla al-aql. That's what they use. They want us to be the same as them, right? Right? That's what they want us to be. And now, what is he talking about? It's supposed to be, look. The whole thing is about hadith rejection, right? Why is he swimming around, beating around the bushes and all that? Why can't he just go direct? To the point.
Yeah. And then
why is he going back to history? Why is he trying to use history as a weapon against these people who just believe in the Quran? Why? What's the point of that? Why don't you just address the subject direct? Like, go to it direct, like I'm doing now, direct. Every 2 words I stop you, go to it direct. You're wrong, you lying, you're not sincere, you...
If it takes away something from you, अगर कोई मक्खी तुमसे कुछ ले भी जाए, तुम उससे वापस नहीं ला सकते. When a fly comes and sits on your food, आप उसको उड़ाते हो, it's taken something from the food, right? You cannot bring it back. मक्खी से कुछ वापस आके दिखाओ मुझे. Challenge है. मक्खी को मार सकते हो आप. You can plan, but you cannot bring back that food because it takes. So Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is teaching you lessons कि तुम कितने बेबस हो.
Yeah, the point is, God is telling you, but you're not listening. You just use these verses to make people laugh and that. Do you know what I mean? You're not really listening, because you're not really listening to your God, are you? To the Quran. You're not listening. You're listening to your Sahaba. Sahaba, yeah? Sahaba, they go into heaven and they already have the tickets. They already got tickets from the Prophet Muhammad. You're following those, innit? That's why you're following those, but you're not listening to God when He's talking to you.
Little you are. You have, और तुम अल्लाह को चैलेंज करते हो. You stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ने ये क्यों किया, Allah ने ये क्यों किया, why me, why this, why that? Who are you? What's your status in comparison to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what He has created? From the day you are born till the day you die, you rely on Allah's mercy. If Allah took away mercy from your mother's heart, you wouldn't even survive. Imagine if your mother didn't clean you for 5 days.
Just imagine. We don't imagine. What's that? To be honest, I'm getting tired of this. I might stop soon because
they will die. If the
talk about
most violence in the West is directly linked to alcohol consumption. लोग शराब पी के एक दूसरे को मारते हैं. जितने crimes weekend पे होते हैं मगरबी दुनिया में पूरे हफ्ते में नहीं होते. पूरे हफ्ते में लोग काम कर रहे हैं सुबह 9 से.
Sorry guys, this guy is just useless. Right? I've heard him talk. I heard him debate. He's just useless. He's just a parrot who repeats his master's words. Right? He hasn't said any truth here. Whatever he said is contradicts contradicts everything, contradicts the Quran, contradicts everything, man. It just, no, that's, no, yeah, it doesn't have any truth. It does not have any truth, trust me. Trust me. Trust me, it doesn't have any truth at all. At all. At all. Peace out.